When you think about it, there's much about our heritage to celebrate. So throughout October, we're unfolding and celebrating bits and pieces of our island's gems through her stories. We continue today, and I'm Theodore Henry, your storyteller for this evening. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, October 21. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, with support from the local government ministry, is conducting expedited COVID-19 testing at the Golden Age home in Vineyard Town, Kingston. This follows the discovery of a cluster of cases at the facility. The cluster was uncovered as part of the Health Ministry's ongoing island-wide surveillance of senior citizens' homes and infirmaries. Up to news time, 43 of 72 samples taken from residents and staff at the facility had so far returned a positive result. The Health Ministry says testing of all 428 residents and 162 staff members should be completed in the next 2 to 3 days. In the meantime, emergency management protocols have been triggered at the facility. Those who've tested positive have been put in isolation, while others are in quarantine, pending the outcome of their results. The ministry says all residents and staff will be monitored closely, even as the section of the facility from where the initial positive tests have come is managed with enhanced infection prevention and control measures. Minister Christopher Tufton says the Health Ministry will also be providing support to review and strengthen the infection prevention and control measures at the Golden Age home. Both ministries have also identified a team of caregivers to provide the necessary care for the home's residents. Meanwhile, the government has commenced the training of health workers to administer COVID-19 antigen tests. The Health Ministry recently announced that while the PCR test remained the gold standard for detecting COVID-19, it would begin allowing the use of antigen tests to boost Jamaica's ability to detect infections. Antigen testing is said to allow for a faster, simpler, and more cost-effective method. The acquisition of kits for antigen testing is being facilitated through a collaboration involving the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office and the United Nations. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says government is still awaiting the arrival of 80,000 such test kits, which were ordered through the World Health Organization, Pan American Health Organization for delivery in October. Full implementation of antigen testing will involve all hospitals, major health centers, and private sector laboratories, including those in privately operated medical facilities. The test must be sanctioned by a physician to whom the report on the result will be submitted, as well as the Ministry of Health and Wellness. In the meantime, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin says its survey on people's knowledge, attitudes, and practices in relation to COVID-19 reveals that Jamaicans are generally informed about the virus and see the elderly as being most at risk for infection. The collation and analysis of data was conducted in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Wellness as part of the National COVID-19 Research Agenda. Statin's Deputy Director General Leisha Delati-Bodir says data was collected from approximately 9,000 persons between April 30 and mid-June. She says the survey also showed that persons in the western end of the island are better informed and practicing more of the safety protocols.
With regards to the actions that persons take to limit COVID-19, we saw, for example, where women were more likely to stay home, whereas men were more likely to report that they socially distanced.
Ms. Delati-Bodir says an assessment of the economic impact of the pandemic showed that the number of employed persons declined by approximately 270,000 since the first confirmed case on March 10. Participants were asked whether they were employed in the first week of March and April 2020.
We also asked persons about whether or not their income had been affected by any of the COVID control measures. And what we saw was that there was approximately 60% of persons who were employed who were reporting that there was some level of reduction in their income, either complete loss of income or a partial reduction in their income. And we also saw where this was more pervasive around males.
Ms. Delati-Bodir was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. The complete survey report is available from Statin. In other health news, the blood collection center at the National Chest Hospital is back in full-time operation. The center, located at 36.5 Barbican Road in Kingston, will now open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. The center's reopening means there are now 3 locations in the Kingston metropolitan area where persons can donate blood. The others are the National Blood Transfusion Center on Slipen Road and the University Hospital of the West Indies. Director of the National Blood Transfusion Services, Dr. Alicia Tucker, says members of the public can be assured that it's safe to donate blood during this time. She says the collection centers are well sanitized and all who visit are sanitized at 3 different points: registration, interview, and donation, in addition to having their temperature checked and being required to wear a mask. Dr. Tucker says walk-in donations are welcomed, but donors can also make an appointment and pre-register online by visiting nbts.gov.jm and clicking on the Appointment Pre-Register tab. The donor will receive an email confirmation with the date and time to visit the collection center. Potential donors will need to present a government-issued identification, which may be in the form of a passport, driver's license, or national ID card. The Ministry of Education, in collaboration with eLearning Jamaica, distributed tablets to PATH students at 3 inner-city primary schools in St. Andrew yesterday.
We're targeting PATH students because they are the neediest of the needy in our society, and we're targeting grades 4, 5, and 6 at the primary level because those are our exam grades.
The distribution at Jonestown, Iris Gelly, and Trenchtown Primary is part of the ministry's plan to donate a total of 40,000 tablets to students on PATH. They will augment the 18,000 tablets and 12,000 desktop computers already distributed to schools.
There are other procurements on the way to put laptops into the hands of PATH students as well in our high schools in grades 10 to 13, again the exam grades. And there is an initiative to help non-PATH needy families by allocating an amount to those families towards the purchase of a laptop or tablet.
And finally, the Justice Ministry's Victim Services Division is now in a better position to provide counseling for children exposed to trauma and crime following a donation of therapeutic aids. The play therapy tools, valued at $1 million, were donated by the Jamaica National JN Foundation last Friday. The items, which include books, dolls, and puppets, will be used to outfit the play therapy area at a service point in Trelawney.
Confidential counseling and psychosocial support is offered face-to-face or online. Today's donation by the JN Foundation is a significant boost to the intervention programs involving children and will no doubt help to minimize incidents of trauma and providing the much needed therapy.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Whenever you hear the following tone, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, will be giving information on an emergency situation affecting the island. Please be on the alert and listen to your radio and television for further information. This was a test of the Emergency Alert System, brought to you by ODPEM.
Our first piece of the heritage exploration today takes us to Portland, a pearl tucked away in the shell of the oyster Jamaica. When normality resumes and we no longer have to deal with COVID-19, I hope you get to feel the same experience our team enjoyed a while back. Here's a piece of Portland.
So Portland is this parish where the waters move to their own dialogue. These shapeless liquids shaping our ability to experience life around us. Of course, we keep returning to stunning but familiar blue or turquoise spaces we grew up around, but maybe never quite enjoyed how we're supposed to.
This is a parish where the water smooth like rum, Jamaican style.
Where life can be spicy like jerk chicken, the true flavor of Portland.
Our the culture can be exciting like we the people. 6 boy!
Luxurious resorts, the greenery of tropical plants, and the radiant sunlight, all of which of course make Portland a breathtaking place to see. But today, we're exploring the seas of the parish as Portland speaks to us with her unique language. So ever since time, people have been seeking waterways to open new horizons or even driving coastlines in search of surf spots. Well, here at Boston Bay Beach, we found one of Jamaica's ideal surf spots, where surfing in the country began in the 1900s.
The traditional surfing that we have come to envision when the word is used of someone standing on a surfboard riding a big wave. The popularity of that in Jamaica actually probably took off somewhere in the late 1950s to early 1960s. Boston was one of the places where surfing was possible, and as such these surfers who lived in Kingston used to make a regular trip over to Boston Bay to enjoy the surf over there, you know. And Boston Bay became renowned as one of the surfing beaches in Jamaica, being the fact that it was on the north coast and it was a beautiful picturesque cove that also allowed for swimming as well as surfing. It became very popular as a surf destination. I could say that I've got my first personal surfboard in about 1974, and I've been surfing since that time until now. It enriched my life, and with a feeling when you're surfing, it's almost like flying, is what I would say. You feel like you're flying because you're moving over the surface of water like how God said him to move over the surface of the water in Genesis 1.
And just in case you didn't know, Boston is an unusual but beautiful horseshoe-shaped bay that leads to the sea. It provides a lovely view. Surfing is not so popular in Jamaica, but at this beach, locals and tourists will be tempted by the tides to grab a surfboard and ride the waves. So if you're here, do it anyway.
My name is Anthony, and I've been surfing over 4 years now. Boston Bay Beach is one of the safest beaches to surf and swim and come and enjoy our good food that we have here as well.
Well, I've been surfing here at Boston Bay Beach for 9 years now and still going. Well, you have beautiful scenery, nice waves for surfing, and then you have nice jerk food all around and nice friendly people. So right now here at Boston Beach is like the most beautiful place on the island for surfing. Surfing kind of like refreshes my mind and after a stressful day and stuff like that. And teaching people to surf is also fun. It helps to put a smile on other people's face and stuff like that.
You're a newbie like myself, come to Boston Bay Beach and test the limits of gravity on the tides. Rent a surfboard, get yourself a surf instructor and surf up. I promise you, it will be an unforgettable experience. Now, on my journey in Portland, I discovered somewhere that's tucked away in the parish. Off the beaten track, a literal hidden gem, Turtle Bay. And what makes Turtle Bay so unique? The bay is named for the turtle shell-shaped stone monument that magically rises from the water. Well, that's of course if you believe in magic. And there's an adventure to be had in trying to find your way there. Turtle Bay is a great place to just escape from the rattle and hum of things, chill and just enjoy the view of the lovely rocks. Now, after exploring all those exhibitions of colors, the ebb and flow of tides, and the beach bowing to our need for adventure. I mean, it's only fitting to relax a little above sea level. I'm on my way to Canopy House, and these are tree houses or hotels tucked away high up in the rainforest. So you can just imagine the lush surrounding. Birds tweeting, leaves rustling, sea splashing. But it's easy to see how all these come together to create one thing, beauty. Canopy House is actually near the Blue Lagoon in Port Antonio. We are totally off the beaten track. It's hard to find us, and that's deliberate. It is not for everybody. Canopy House is pretty much in a rainforest. So we have totally wooden structures. We try to fit into the environment. So if you're not into natural scenery, if you're not into environmentally friendly properties, this is not for you. We use local people to make the houses and local wood. So sweetwood, almond tree, these are just some of the names. We actually exit into the Blue Lagoon, and we have a deck that you can jump off and swim at the Blue Lagoon. We have kayaks on property. I find though that the people from Europe enjoy Canopy a lot. And lately we have been getting a lot of people from Jamaica, because Port Antonio is now becoming the capital of getting away from it all in Jamaica. It's no easy ride getting here, but it's a worthwhile trip. So Portland may be several different things for several different persons. And for me, it's a parish with so much beauty to see, feel, and taste. Come and enjoy the whole Portland story, from the bush to the beach or the hill, whatever you will. Really, it's all here.
How would you want to be treated if you were diagnosed with COVID-19? Not like this.
Them will talk how I'm wicked and if dead, and they behave like I am the one that created the virus. All my friends as well that were positive, them going through even worse than what I'm going through. Persons are calling police on them as well.
Do not allow your fear of COVID-19 to rob you of your humanity. There is no need to shun or victimize persons with the disease or those on the front line.
To mistreat persons that do have it, it's not a good feeling. We don't cause this on ourselves.
We really need to cut the hate and work together as a country, as communities, to overcome.
Let us be understanding with those affected and support each other. Be kind. End the stigma. Android, iOS, non-internet based. It doesn't matter the brand, type, model, or cost. Phones need to be periodically cleaned. There are no apps, not yet, that will de-germ the outer surface of these mobile gadgets. And unless you have an ultraviolet UV sanitizer toolkit, you'll have to manually decontaminate the device. Germs are everywhere, and so too are our phones, inside a bag or pocket, on a table or counter, the car, bed, even in our hands. Placing our phones on these surfaces puts them in constant contact with germs, even the novel coronavirus. And according to the World Health Organization, the virus has a lifespan of up to 96 hours on surfaces. That's 4 full days on plastic or metals, the type of exterior shell of many phones. Constant touching of the phone with naked fingers that we then use to touch our faces, or directly placing the phone to our faces is a recipe for transmitting germs, bacteria, or viruses to the body.
First thing I do when I get home is I clean my phone. Because you're touching your phone and you're touching this surface that somebody else just touched, and then you put the phone to your mouth and you ha. And all of these particles that have ended up on the phone, they end up in you.
Apart from just not using a phone, our only defense is to clean them regularly. Soap and water would be best, but no, you should not submerge your phone in liquid. Instead, first wash your hands with soap and water, then dry them. Ensure that your phone is unplugged to prevent a possible electrical shock. Then, dab a clean cloth, preferably a microfiber or lens cloth, with a 70% isopropyl alcohol solution, and wipe the entire surface of your phone. Do not drench the cloth with too much solution, just sufficient to clean the device. In addition, be careful to avoid getting moisture into any openings. If you don't have an alcohol-based cleaning solution at hand, you can also use alcohol wipes. You should ensure the wipes have a relatively high concentration of alcohol. The best is 70% and above. This ensures that any viruses that are on your phone can be effectively killed. While you sanitize your phone, avoid using aerosol sprays, abrasives, and cleaners. And do not spray directly onto the phone screen or back. Bleach should also not be used to clean the phone, as it may damage the surface. It is also best to wipe any relevant accessories used with your phone. Chargers, headsets, and phone cases should be sanitized at the same time you clean your device. They should also be removed from the device when cleaning. Now your phone and its friends are clean. To prevent putting your phone against your face or the likelihood of transferring germs or viruses, use Bluetooth, a virtual assistant or hands-free speaker system if you can.
My commendations to the management and staff of Petrojam Limited for supporting this educational aspiration of these students. You are rebuilding Jamaica, not just by meeting Jamaica energy needs, but also believing in and supporting the educational pursuits of today's promising boys and girls who will become the future leaders, men and women of tomorrow.
Petrojam Limited recently recognized the outstanding academic achievements of students from the Greenwich All-Age and St. Andrew Primary Schools in the 2020 Primary Exit Profile exams. Each student received a 5-year scholarship which covers tuition, books, and other school supplies. This move forms part of Petrojam's corporate social responsibility program to increase opportunities for educational advancement. Newly appointed Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Daryl Vaz, was on hand to congratulate and encourage the students, adding that his ministry remains committed to fueling growth, which includes investing in the next generation.
Programs such as this assist the educational advancement of our students, especially at a time when we are battling a global pandemic. No other set of students in recent times has had to contend with a global pandemic which has disrupted the school year and forced educators to re-image content delivery. We have had to adapt to remote learning and virtual learning space, and this is where access to the internet and technology is crucial. And as Minister of Technology I'm committed to ensuring that we provide the requisite access to the internet and devices to facilitate remote learning of our students. We have to work closely with the Ministry of Education to make sure that we are providing internet to not only the schools, but to communities that either have poor service or no service. And that is something that the Prime Minister has mandated me to do. And I can assure the public that that is something that I'll be paying special attention to get quick results, and of course, more importantly, to come up and devise a method to roll out broadband throughout the entire country in the shortest possible time. I want to congratulate once again the awardees and to remind them that they are the future builders of this country who will lead the change in the digital age. We, the government, are committed to giving you the best platform and foundation on which to make this possible. Through your hard work and dedication, you have become standard bearers and examples to everyone else in your community as to what is possible. I have every confidence that you will do well in your studies at your new schools.
We hope that you learned something, because that's as much as we could share with you today. But we're here every day working and preparing to share more with you. So join us again tomorrow for more Jamaica Magazine. There's even a way to watch a recap of today's episode by visiting our YouTube channel. Also, keep up with the JIS by visiting our website and follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter pages. From all of us here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry. Keep safe and catch us again tomorrow.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.